double checking. Go to Facebook and make sure it's working. You have to turn it down there, Rocco.
Registered your name.
And if you just refresh your newsfeed, it should be the first thing that pops up.
Oh, it says you're live.
Okay. Can you hear me? Turn it up a little bit. Make sure you can hear me. Yep, turn down. Turn down, because I don't echo now.
It's lagging really bad.
It shouldn't be lagging any. All right.
You're good.
All right. So we have a little surprise for everyone that's been waiting. We were at our old house by Carmen Valley High School, and we're exploring adding on an addition or adding on like an extra room and stuff. Hello, Eric. Hi, buddy. I'm finally back. I'm in the camera. So we were in our old house and we wanted to expand a little bit, and we wanted to add like a room or add like a second story or something. And we decided that was crazy and kind of just a waste of money, and we weren't going to get the return on our investment. So since high school, we've been talking about building a house on a couple of acres so that we had some room for if the kids ever wanted to build or stay nearby or whatever, that we'd have it. That was been the goal since day one. So Kaylee and I were in our house near the high school, and we decided that we were going to try to build a little bit more onto it or like add to it. Decided that was a waste, so we were going to switch it up. Found a piece of property that was 6 acres in Mechanicsburg, was the perfect setup in Carmen Valley School where we wanted to be. Everything worked out with it. Turned out that it had an HOA that had like silly rules to it, and we just were like, all right, that's not something that we want to do. So we bought that piece of property, and then we sold it back to the people that sold it to us because that was in the rules that we had to. So we sell that property back, still with the intention that we want to build on a few acres. We don't want to deal with an HOA. Somehow, some way, we ended up finding a piece of property in Carlisle, still in Carmen Valley Schools, on like a half an acre that's in a neighborhood with an HOA. So the HOA is not like the worst thing in the world. The people aren't like terrible. Like they're reasonable, everything so far. One of the silly rules is like we can't have a shed. So immediately, as soon as we moved in, our garage got flooded. We had way too much shit in our garage, and we have a 3-car garage, but it's like a 1.5, and so like half of it now is all landscaping stuff, like the mower and everything. So it just became ridiculous. You're allowed to have a pool house if you have a pool, but you can't have a shed. And again, this isn't a target at the HOA people, because I know people with them and that are friends with them, and like they're doing their job. It is what it is. We knew that when we came in, we signed the rules. So at one point we were at our old house, and Kayla and I, we were like in the final moment of like, do we do this? Should we move forward with this build? Like, what's it going to look like? And we were like, all right, this is what we're going to look like as far as work and what to expect with the current interest rate we're getting involved in with building the house. And I was like, you know what? I was like, give it like 5 to 7 years. I was like, I think the neighborhood's going to wear you down a little bit. I was like, I think you're going to want to go back to wanting land. Like having the kids in the neighborhood would be cool. I was like, but I think being in the middle of nowhere is what we really want. Like, I like to stand on the back porch and be able to piss. I like to ride four-wheelers. Like, we want to ride four-wheelers. We want to have guns and fireworks. Like, we want to be able to just chill and have no one tell us what to do. No one be able to hear us. So I told her, I said, you probably have like 5 to 7 years. Like, I'll give you like 5 to 7. So like right away we moved in March. Right away hit like the shed issue and like a couple other things. And it was just like, all right, like maybe the neighborhood isn't the best thing. So I was like, wow, like that really happened fast. But we were at our old house, and there was a moment where, and Kaylee's in the room with me right now. She's a little too shy to be on camera, so she's in here hanging out, chilling, listening. Correct me if I'm wrong on anything. There was a moment where we were just like, all right, is this what we want to do? And I wasn't totally sure, wasn't sold on it, and so I just was like, do you want to put your foot down here? Like, do you want to have a moment where like this is just what you want to do? Because like I was hesitant to like make upgrades and add things in and pick good flooring for the house and stuff, and I was like, I just feel like my plan was to buy some rental properties, like buy a rental property or two, and then build the house so that we had some kind of income. So we would have stayed in our house. It would have been a little tight for a few years, but we would have bought a rental property right away, started renting it out, had a vacation home essentially, like somewhere in Florida, near Disney, near a beach, somewhere we could go and visit. And so that was the plan. I was like, let's do that first and then use the rental income to help us build a house later on. It'll take a couple years, but like that's what's best. And it was kind of like no, I want out of here now. Let's build a house. And so I was like, all right, I'm on board with it. If you want to do it, like I'll support you in it. We'll make this decision together, and I'm going to start helping picking stuff out. So we're going to start customizing stuff. I'm going to start customizing my office and the doors, the floors, the paint, like everything. We just started going out like to build the dream house. So we built the dream house. During this process I know Union Home still is going to get their review. I have not forgotten about the Fratellis or Union Home by any means, getting to them. But during the process, we applied. We said, hey, before we go and do this is our plan. We want to look at rental properties. We want to build, this is the plan. So they gave us essentially purchasing power. They said, you have X amount of dollars in purchasing power. Let's just say it's $100,000. They said, you have 100,000 in purchasing power. So we were like, okay, cool. Let's, buy a house for 50 or 60,000 and then buy a rental property for like what's left. And obviously like I'm using crazy numbers, but like we were told we had X amount of buying power. We had plenty of buying power. We could build our house and we could afford a rental property all within the same time frame. What's up, Vinny? We were told that everything would be fine. So that was like one of the first fuck ups of many. So as the process went on, we get a little more in depth. We find out too late, like 70% of the way through building our house, that like, hey, we're not able to use certain parts of her income because it's travel and it's weird and blah blah blah. And like we didn't know that because no one had told us that yet. So we were finding out as we went, and they can't use that certain income. So we find out that we can't use certain parts of our income, and we're not going to be able to do a rental property right away. But it was like, well, it's too late. We can't back out now. Like we'll lose a ton of money. Like let's just move forward and build a house. And then we started playing the game of like, okay, what's this look like? Like maybe like a year or two of grinding, and then like we'll refinance, or like 5 years and then refinancing. And so we just played all the numbers, and we were like, it should work out. Let's just hope it works out. Like we already started building it. We already started customizing shit. Like let's just see what happens, and then let's go for it. So once we find out that our buying power had been cut, we could still build the house and we were fine, but there was no rental property in sight. So that's kind of where we're at now. Like we're in the house and we've just been kind of looking at it. So we went on vacation this year. So we're in the house. Everything's been fine. We love the house. It's fantastic. It's beautiful. If we could pick up this house and put it on a few acres, still in the same area, we absolutely would do it in a heartbeat. Again, nothing to do with this neighborhood. We just want to live like on our own land and have some space. So we went to Ocean City this year. During the backsplash disaster. We went to Ocean City, Maryland in mid-July. So while we're there, we had a blast. It was the boys' first like real beach trip, like where they got to get in the ocean and everything. It was me, Kaylee, my sister Rayanne, and then the boys. And so it was the best. It was so much fun. And on the way home, Kaylee just was like in this funk, and I just was like, what is going on? And she just was like, I hate that we built this house. Like we're in a situation, the chuckle. Like where she just, and I was like, what? And then she was like, I just like I'm like, she's grinding at work, she's working her ass off. Like aside from me shaking my ass or being on a corner, like there's nothing that I can do to try to alleviate this. Like I'm here for the housewife duties and trying to make things meet on my end, but like we had that conversation where it was like, this is all you. Like your income's a lot different than mine. Like this is your ball game. I'll support you, but like I'm just the bat boy. So like I was like, if you want to do it, you can. So we're in a situation now where like it really falls on her shoulders. Like there's not too much that I can do to alleviate it, to help buy a rental property. Like it's just not in the works. So we're having this conversation where we get home and we're like, you know what? Let's just sell the house. Let's sell the house and buy some land, buy a smaller, like buy a ranch and fix it up and then sell it or rent it out or give that to the boys and build another house. Like, let's just get out of this house. Let's get out of the neighborhood. Let's scrap it. So this is like end July, and I'm starting a new job at this point in mid August. So I was like, okay, sounds good. Like we should be all right. Can't wait to have to move and pack up another fucking house, like while I'm trying to start a new job and all this other stuff. So we are early July, dealing with the backsplash shit, trying to decide whether or not we should sell the house. We started looking around, we're starting to view numbers, we're starting to play the refinance game, and we're just looking to see like what's possible. So it just comes down to it. We're like, you know what, like refinancing in a few years, because the rates probably aren't going anywhere. If they continue to go up, how much longer do we, like, and again, like live like this, like one vacation a year? We know we're blessed, we're grateful to have what we have, like, but with her job and being able to travel, like I was like, we should really be taking more like vacations to be like time with the boys and while they're young, before they start school, whether or not we're going to homeschool or not. Like, let's get out, let's start exploring, like let's do it now before we're too tied down, you know, with a dream house that we built. And so we did it a little bit, not backwards, but we built the house. We get in here, and then right away Kaylee's like, you know, I kind of want to do some more, like the beach was so fun, like it sucks that like that's kind of it for the year, we're going to wait till next year. And again, I know that like I grew up with the one beach trip a year. That was the best damn part of the year, was the one Ocean City, Maryland trip a year. Like that was the absolute peak of my year. It was every August-ish, and like that was absolute peak. So like I get it, like that's like what most can do, but like with her job, kind of having her travel, I was like, we should really be tackling more spots than this. So we come home from the beach, we start talking about it, we start running numbers, we decide that like refinancing probably isn't in the works. I don't want her to miss out on all the kids' events. She started missing Joe's MMA classes and things like that, and I was like, you're starting to miss stuff because you're working so much, all for the house. Like, and I was like, I'll live in a single wide trailer like I grew up in. Like, put me in a shack again. Like, I'm cool. Like, I'll live in a shed. We can live out of a car. I'll live in an RV. I'll live in a condo. I'll live in an apartment. Like, we have pit bulls, so it gets really hard. But I was like, get us out of this house. Like, let's sell the house. Let's list it. I'll call Brandon. We scared him a couple of times this summer. I was like, sorry, Brandon. I was like, let's list. Let's live wherever. Like, I don't care where we live as long as I have, my wife, my kids, my dogs, the cats. Like, my sister's nearby. Like, we're good. My mother-in-law, like, our family. Like, it's as long as we're good. Like, we're fine. So we decided, like, let's sell the house and let's just start trying to find a place that'll allow us to rent with pit bulls. So we start playing that game. Not very many places will allow you, and if they do, they probably don't have a fence. And so it's like, okay, well, now what are we giving up? Are we giving up the fence, or are we going to try to risk going somewhere that doesn't allow dogs? There was one house we found on like an 8-acre, but they didn't allow cats. They were strictly no cats, and I was like, that's crazy. And then they took care of the landscaping, so it was like weird that they were going to come by the house all the time. And so I was like, all right, that's odd. So we skipped out on renting. We drove down a property that we clearly in the listing told me not to drive down the driveway, but Kaylee hit me with one of those, let's just go look at it quick. And then we drive by and she's like, just pull back there. So we looked at a few different houses. This is like mid-August, and we just then decided, like, let's just tough it out. Like, this is not going to be it. We're going to take a huge loss in this situation, like swinging into another house. Some of our furniture isn't going to fit. Like, we're going to have to sell furniture that we just bought for the house. Like, it just became kind of a disaster. And so we were like, all right, that's not going to do it. And I constantly am like, let's pack it up. Let's live in a tent. Like, let's go camping. And she's like, that's crazy. So we said, let's just let it die. So all of September, probably, we just let it ride. Didn't hear much on either one of us looking into anything. You like that painting back there? It's a credit to Miss Pam Beasley. So we, so like mid-September, we're just like, when nobody's really saying anything at this point, we're just like, all right, let's just stay here and just like ride it out. I started a new job, and so I was like, I'll pitch in and see, like, little pennies that I can and see what we can do, like what we were trying to do with the rental property. Like, that's our goal, is like to find something that could give us like an escape, whether it was like an RV or a condo or a rental property, like something that gave us additional income and more time to hang out with the kids. So nobody said anything. Like, we're just sitting there. So one night, Kaylee comes home from work. Rand and I are sitting there eating dinner, and Kaylee's sitting there with us. And I have not met this person yet, but Casey, if you're out there, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Kaylee comes home one night, and did I miss anything before I drop it?
I don't think so.
I think I covered everything. In and out of the first house scare, decided to stay, scared Brandon, decided not to list, decided to stay here.
Yeah, it's just like a bunch of drama, one on top of the other. And then
Yeah, one thing on top of the other, then right into it. Yes, now the current decision, ta-da, voila. We are listing our house. We are going to sell the house that we just built. We just built it, and we broke ground October 31st of last year. So it's 1 year almost since we broke ground. We moved in March 13th. We've been here for almost 9 months, not even. We're about to list our house. We're going to stay here until probably the first week of January. So we're going to stay here for Christmas. That way we have a normal Christmas. Nothing's crazy. So we're going to tackle here through trick-or-treat, get some Halloween done, get some trick-or-treating done. We're going to go through Thanksgiving. We're going to have Christmas here in Mechanicsburg. Right now, sitting out in our driveway is a brand new 2024 fifth wheel camper, because one night Kaylee came home from work, sits down next to me, and is like, so my friend Casey at work travels in an RV, and she's going to Arizona. And I asked her, like, how she goes to Arizona, or like where she's all going. So basically she said she was going to Arizona. So Kaylee was like, well, how are you going to go to Arizona? And she's like, oh, I live in an RV. And Kaylee was like, do you? My husband's been telling me we should buy an RV, and like that would be the best thing to do, to travel and like follow around the nursing contracts and see what happens. So Kaylee sits down one night and is like, tell me more about this RV. And I was like, why? And she was like, Casey at work said that she travels with her husband, her 3 kids, and her 110-pound dog all around the country following nursing contracts, and just gets to see all over the country and travel and do fun stuff. So Kaylee sat there one night, and that was probably about a month ago. It was probably like late September. So from like mid to late September until now, we've been grinding. We've been calling dealerships. We've shopped models. We went the whole way to Ashland, Virginia, took an accidental 2-day trip to Camping World. It became a 10.5-hour visit. I negotiated the deal of a lifetime as far as MSRP, because I did my research and I found Camping World's sales script ahead of time. So I knew all of the things that the sales manager was going to say as he kept coming back to tell me things. I was like, and I know you're going to say this, and my rebuttal is tell me where this is, and became a whole thing. But yeah, so we have decided to sell our house. It's going to go on the market here soon. And then come January, we are probably going to head toward Florida for her first contract. And the contracts are like 8 weeks at a time. So we will be in a campground somewhere in southern Georgia or mid Florida. We're hoping for Tampa or Jacksonville, depending on like availability and stuff. What's up, Calvin? Look up Hip Camp, and we get 5 to 6 campers a week. Sometimes stay for months at a time. Definitely let me know. That's been part of this, where we have a bunch of friends that do some traveling and stuff, and we were like, you know what? If she has a nursing friend that she can take contracts with, so we have like a traveling friend with us, that's huge. And so that became a huge benefit of it. But again, Casey, if you're out there, thank you so much. It got Kaylee onto the idea. But yeah, so I'll post some pictures in. We have it literally sitting in the driveway right now. Yeah, that sounds good. That's what I like to hear, Calvin. We bought one. We did the research so that we could boondock with it. Like, we have like a solar panel. We have a decent sized, yes, Desiree. That's what I'm talking about. I knew you were going to be excited because we were talking about you. Kaylee even asked, she said, where does Desiree and them live? And I was like, yeah, we can go visit whoever, whenever. We're just going to take contracts and follow around. So now I get to homeschool. Like, we get to keep the kids for at least the time being. And as everyone knows, we're insane. So the fun part of this is that we are fully aware that this could last for 3 months or this could last for 10 years. So we don't know, like, there's a lot of unknown right now, but like for the time being, like, we wanted to post, we're getting ready to start cleaning out the garage. I'm getting ready to list our mower and stuff for sale. And I was like, I feel like Kaylee was like, you got to go post it. So that way it's done and over with. But yeah, that's been the delay, is that we have a brand new camper sitting in the driveway. We've been getting it situated. I love this. Thank you so much, Eric. You're a big hero of this story. I hope I'm the hero of this story. Yeah, dragging an RV down the road is definitely going to be a little suspect. I've never driven anything this large, but also he doesn't have a Facebook, but I have a good buddy, Derek, that helped us out so much. He has a truck, because we haven't bought a truck yet. So we bought a camper without a truck. I have nothing to tow it with yet. So I negotiated as part of my deal with Camping World that they were going to deliver it for free from Ashland, Virginia to here. So they brought it on Tuesday.
Friday.
Oh, true. It's supposed to be Tuesday. It's Friday. It's supposed to be Friday. So I got dropped off on Friday. Could not get it in the driveway. We were like 1.5 inches away from the sewer cap, like breaking off on the concrete for the driveway. Dude couldn't get it in. Like, the delivery driver was like, I don't think I can get it now. And yes, bought camper without a truck. You know how we do it. I was like, we can rent a truck. We can pay somebody to deliver it. It'll be fine. Camper tour now. Sean, I got you. As soon as I'm done with this video, I got the GoPro. I still have to figure out the GoPro, but we're going to go out to the camper because that's what we're doing right now, is starting to set stuff up and getting everything ready to go. You can Google it, though. It's a Sandpiper 3990 FL. That's what we got. But yeah, so it's sitting in the driveway right now. So it wasn't in the driveway. So Friday, Camping World guy brings it, can't get it in the driveway. And I was like, stop, like, you're going to break the sewer cap. Like, don't try any further. I haven't done like any projects in the house yet, so I have no loose bricks, no loose anything to get the camper like stocked up an inch or two. Like, I have nothing. Like, he was like, do you have any rocks? And I was like, I have nothing. Like, I don't have anything nearby. Also then realized I don't have any wheel chocks. So we get the camper delivered. It's sitting in the road. It's in front of our house, which I'm sure is an HOA violation. I'm sure it's an HOA violation sitting in my driveway, but it's only temporary, guys. I'm getting it out soon. We have it sitting in the middle of the road, and the guy's like, do you have wheel chocks? And I was like, no, I thought you guys would bring some. Like, I didn't even think to get some. That's my own dumb fault. But like, okay. And I was like, you don't have like a piece of wood or anything? And he's like, no. He's like, I don't have anything in my truck. And I was like, I've done no projects. I have nothing in here. Like, I'm about to go get like a dining room table chair and stick under the wheel. Like, I have nothing. So I go in the backyard. The boys have like 2 rocks that they were playing with, like literally like this big, probably like this tall, like these little chunks of rocks. So I come out and try to like wedge it in under the tire, like just and like we're on a slant. Like, our road is on a slant. So at this point, Kaylee and I are like, all right, first step, go get wheel chocks. Like, we don't have to get the kids some daycare yet. Let's run and get wheel chocks, then we'll come back. So we go get wheel chocks. I'm like halfway down Wolf's Bridge Road, and I look over at Kaylee, and I was like, we forgot to call our insurance agent this week. Like, they were supposed to get delivered Tuesday, and we were going to call Tuesday when it got dropped off. We forgot, came in on Friday. We're dealing with other stuff. Forgot to call our insurance agent. So I realized that the camper's sitting in front of our house uninsured with no wheel chocks on a downhill slope. So I was like, if I come home and that thing has fucking run down the hill and into the woods, I'm going to be so upset. Like, call her now. So Gretchen of John Fetterman State Farm, Carlisle, not a paid advertisement. We called her right away. She got it listed, covered. Everything was good immediately. So we were covered insurance-wise. So we go get wheel chocks, and we come home. I go to get the rocks out from underneath the wheels, and they have like compressed onto the rocks. So the RV moved a little bit and like really hunkered down on top of the rocks. So I had to like wiggle them out. So in other words, if we'd have taken a little longer, if there'd have been some more oomph, it might have just like rolled down the hill. So we got Goodwheel chocks, got it all situated, can't get it in the driveway at that point. So then yesterday, thankfully my buddy Derek, who has a fifth wheel camper also and has a big boy truck that can handle the shit, came in, scooped it up, said, this is light work, Camping World guy should have been able to do this. And I knew he would. Looped it around the neighborhood, came back, first try, hops out, grabs a couple pieces of wood, wedges it under the tire, pops it up, backs it straight in the driveway. He goes, that good? You want it over a little bit? True champion. So Derek gets it in the driveway, and it's all situated. So right now it's out there. Like I said, we'll go take some pictures and post those here in a little bit. But yeah, we are selling our house. We're hopping in the camper. First week of January, we'll be out, because hopefully we'll have a truck by that point. But yeah, we're listing our house here soon. So I know I had never updated TikTok with the updated videos of the house. I stopped the tour because we got busy moving in and no one saw the finishing touches. So you're about to see finishing touches on a realtor ad or a Zillow ad. But yeah, so that's why I bought the GoPro and everything too, because I'm about to slap it to my chest or my forehead and follow the kids around, start hiking, start doing all kinds of adventures all over the place. Gonna have a lot of beach days. But yeah, homeschooling is definitely going to be interesting. Going to start that next year with Joe and just kind of see how that works out. But again, we don't know. This could take us 3 months and then we'd be like, nah, this ain't it. This isn't for us. Let's go home. Like, what the hell are we thinking? But yeah, right now the plan is get the camper, hit the road, see as many states as we can, see as much shit as we can, stay out of the cold weather as much as we can. Yeah, and just give the boys a pretty sick ass childhood, the best that we can, and just get to travel around and come home at some point, whether it's here or somewhere else. Like, we still want to settle down at some point, have some acreage, start not a industrial farm, but I want some chickens and just kind of do like the homesteading stuff and just be able to live at home and have some land. And if the kids want to come home and build next to us, so be it. But that way we'll have a rig at that point. We'll have a truck and trailer that'll be paid off sitting in the yard. So that's a yes, we can build, and we'll still have a camping thing. So Kaylee's had a lot of like I told you so moments this past couple of months, because we knew that I was right and I got that treatment. So it was like we should have just did the rentals. But yeah, so that's all right. Yeah, we learned, we figured it out. But that's what again, I was like, I don't know that I'm right either. I was like, we could go and travel and be like, this just is not it. Let's go home. Like, this sucks. So once we knew that, it was like the worst that's going to happen is we're going to lose money on the camper. But with the interest rates on the house and what we spent, like, we're losing money there too. Like, pick your poison. And it was like, you know what, if we're going to be in that situation and losing out on interest rates regardless, well, why not do it with some nice weather and get to travel around a little bit? So yeah, I think that's about it. But yeah, we specifically found a model that will allow us to keep the dogs, cats, and the kids, I guess, but everybody comfortable. The cats have their own spot. Yes, you're absolutely getting a travel vlog. So yeah, I guess I should plug my stuff. So I hate to be that dude and try to pretend Mr. Influencer guy, but I mean, if you guys are asking for it, I'm going to start posting on our YouTube. So like all of our videos will go up on my YouTube page. I have a TikTok page as well. I guess I'm going to learn how to do that. And then as the travel posts themselves, I'll post like a picture or two from each of our locations and updates and stuff from our Bartles family Instagram. And then, I mean, all my other links are available on there too. But those first like 2 or 3 that are on that page are going to be the important ones. I also, Eric, you'll love this. I specifically picked a layout that we can still fit my desk and my monitors. So my wife is arguing whether or not I need all 3 or if I only need 2, but my argument is if I can get a desk and my computer in there, I'll make 3 fit. Like, I'll just make it work. So I'm keeping pretty much my whole desk set up. I'm going to lose a little bit of my office space, obviously, but the kids are going to have their own spot. Her and I have our own spot. We have a nice living room that we can live in. And then part of that would be sort of my desk in the corner so I can still stream video games once I was just about to start streaming too. I was getting hunkered down. We were buying, like, we hit a moment after that August scare of let's sell the house. And then like her and I had a conversation where it was like, are we selling the house or not? And we were like, okay, no, we're not. We're going to grind it out. That's the plan. I was like, okay, I'm going to start making permanent decisions. Like, I'm going to call and get a concrete pad put in for the backyard. Let's start finishing the basement. Let's get someone to do our backsplash. Like, there was just a lot of things that we were like, all right, let's start paying to do it. And so poor Miro, thank you so much, Miro, if you're out there too. We appreciate it. It looks beautiful. The new homeowners are going to love it. But we hire him and he comes in and Miro's like, you're going to love it. It's going to look fantastic. You have such a beautiful home. It's going to match, like, what a beautiful kitchen. And the whole time I was like, I'm selling it in a month. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to do this to your work. But whoever is getting here first, they're going to enjoy a beautiful kitchen with some fantastic backsplash custom from MS Custom Tile, courtesy of Mechanicsburg. That one also not a paid advertisement, but definitely believe in Miro if you need any kitchen work done or any tile work. But dogs going nuts?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so yeah, Eric, we will. So yeah, I will still be streaming. I was just about to start streaming games again. I've been grinding 2K24. We were playing Call of Duty again. I was getting ready to start playing video games again. So yeah, for anybody, if you need the links, they're all on my page or on that link tree. But yeah, so I'll be gaming. I'll be posting travel stuff. I'm gonna be doing some homeschool stuff. It's time. We're gonna hit it. And again, this could last for a month or two. I'm fully aware of that. I have no intention of ending up Mr. Beast or anything like that. I just want to throw some stuff on video. And I've also noticed recently, like, just the travel places, like I've seen so many sponsorships and stuff of it too. So if I'm going to get a free campground membership or something like that, I'd post in a little review. I'm absolutely going to do so. So yeah, I think that is about it. Like, so yeah, we're going to finish getting the camper set up, going to get the GoPro set up. I'll make a post here in a little bit, post some of the pictures of us getting it here and it not fitting in the driveway the first time and stuff like that. It's been a delight. But yeah, so yeah, we've been super excited to post it and we just wanted to get it out of the way, but all good. Anything else?
No, I can think of it.
Cool. Yeah, if anybody needs a bunch of permanent stuff, we're gonna store some stuff. I'm getting to keep my golf clubs, getting to keep my gaming set up. So like I'm pretty much set. Like I'm good. I'm happy. We are getting rid of like our mower and all that stuff too. So if anybody needs a mower or any like seasonal shit, it's all yours. Let me know for the best offer. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I will post some pictures here soon. And then, yeah, if you guys are out there listening or you care, obviously if you're listening, I guess you give a shit. So yeah, hit up the YouTube channel because that's going to be where I post most stuff. I'm going to download this and post it on there as well. And then as we go forward, I'll probably still post to Facebook first and foremost because I'm an old head and I like my Facebook. But everything then I'll download and throw on YouTube because they're the ones that will actually pay me for views. So. All right, cool. All right, well, hey, thanks to everybody that stopped by. I'm going to go outside and start getting camper and garage cleaned out. We're going to get our house listed soon, and I'll get pictures of camper posted soon. See you guys later.